Hunger Games, Happy Feet, Rango, and even The Walking Dead. These are all popular examples of a world without adequate natural resources. Research shows that the impacts that the destruction of nature causes on all beings. As humans, we are part of both the problem and the solution. In this essay, I will explain how water contamination and economic development are harming all forms of life and how we can begin to change this cycle before it's too late. Did you know that our negligence and greed are ultimately destroying us as a human race? Improper use of our water resources is causing contamination in not only the water we consume, but the aquatic animals and crops that we ingest as well. According to a report on thewaterproject.org, nearly 800 million people cannot access unharmful water. Studies have shown that between 2013 and 2014, there were nearly 1,200 water-contaminated outbreaks across the U.S. 13 of these cases ended in death. 1 year later, 20 million American citizens were affected by water that was contaminated with fecal matter and other disgusting parasites. Of the states that were found in multiple violation, there were 3 that really stood out. Idaho, the state of the potato, was one. At this time, they were also dealing with a drought in cattle. This is partly to be blamed because of the contamination in the water and foods they were using for nourishment. Our problems, however, don't stop with potatoes and cattle. Contaminated waterways contain chemicals such as PFOS and PFOA. These 2 components not only contaminate the fish until they're unable to be consumed, they also affect the leafy vegetation as well. The overflow of unclean water not only damages the soil, but it can get absorbed into the flowering vegetables like cauliflower, lettuce, broccoli, leafy mixed greens, and even cabbage. Did I say cabbage? Both humans and animals consume leafy vegetables that may contain these poisons. Therefore, carnivores and vegetarians alike are at risk. And after we leave these superstores or supermarkets, we head to our nice new houses, condos, or apartments to prepare these unintoxicated foods. But do you know that it's these economic developments that we support that are partially to blame for our unsafe water conditions? On top of that, they destroy the forest and increase the cost in cities, costs that could be used in so many other beneficial areas. In Forest on the Edge, an article by Susan Stein and her associates, we learned that the shrinking of wildlife, combined with the change in a forest's health and carbon levels, are caused by excessive building. Without trees, the water cycle is broken because it can no longer moisturize the land. This causes the ground to become dry, thus making it susceptible to wild forest fires and drought. Animals are forced out of their habitats and into crowded communities. This ultimately leads to death by either